Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Kiara Washington Speaks, and to all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for continuing to support the brand and the content. To all of my new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. So as you all can clearly see in the title and in this description, I am just simply going to be giving you all a life update. And it's going to be coming to you in voiceover style. As you all know, I have done, at this point, quite a few voiceovers. And it just kind of gives me a way to just be a little bit more reflective. And I believe sometimes my words come out a little bit more clear and to the point. So yeah, you all, as I mentioned, I'm your girl, Kiara Washington Speaks, and I just want to just do a real quick mental check-in and life updates and let you all know what's been going on in my world. So, if you don't know, your girl, of course, has moved from VA to LA. I currently live in Louisiana. To be exact, I live in Northeast Louisiana, and I have currently been in Louisiana since February, which means I have been here now for about a little over 7 months. And to be honest, y'all, this has been one of the biggest transitions I've ever made in my life. I have had quite a few, but this is definitely one of the biggest transitions. And I just think about how I felt when I first got here. There was a lot of getting used to things that I had to deal with and overcome. And I will be extremely honest with you. I am definitely settled in pretty good now. Louisiana is now my home. I actually feel at home. I remember the first couple of months down here, I didn't feel at home. I felt like I was almost waiting to go back to Virginia to get reacclimated with family and friends. And then when I went back in July to my best friend's wedding, all the things that I was trying to build up to in my mind and that I was building up in my mind, oh, it's going to be great, it's going to be awesome, I'm going to enjoy myself, I'm going to be home. I literally got back to Virginia and it literally felt like poop for me. I mean, I'm not going to say that word again, but it literally felt like crap for me and it did not feel great. And it just made me realize sometimes in life when we kind of cycle back and we try to go backwards and we try to go back to the way things used to be, we come to realize that other things have filled those spaces now and that the Creator has put us in a space to navigate forward for a reason. So Louisiana is my home now for a reason. I am adjusting beautifully. And that kind of puts me into my next segue about my job. So the main purpose for this move was because I got a promotion. If you don't know and you haven't watched any of my other content, and this is the first video that you're watching by me or listening to by me, should I say, I actually work in sales for Verizon, which, Verizon is literally like the number one communications, company in the world. Let me not brag. Anyway, I've been working for Verizon for almost 4 years next March. And I actually got a promotion into business sales back in February of this year. And so the job, if I just have to kind of explain how that's been going, I will say it has definitely challenged me. Yes, it has definitely challenged me, y'all. Like I have really had to learn a lot about myself throughout this time because I am doing a role that I have never done before, and I'm actually managing and supporting people, which I've never done before. I've always been most of my jobs have always been entry level. And I've always had support given to me. But in this role, I am supporting and managing other people. And it is a different space to stand in because it's a space I'm not used to and definitely wasn't used to. But I've definitely taken on the reins as time continues to go on and just learning how to be an understanding supervisor and just learning people's strengths and weaknesses. So it's definitely been a challenge, but I will be honest, I am very grateful and thankful for the ability to move upward and onward throughout the company and throughout my life, because this is essentially how I am going to be able to break the barrier on the next level and levels of my life. I am currently in school for HR, and my overall goal is to literally stay with this company so that I can achieve my undergraduate degree and my master's so that I can really maximize my full potential and work with people directly. And so yeah, y'all, I've been transitioning. It's been a challenge, but what is life without challenges? I mean, really, what is it? What is life without challenges? And I realized that if everything were to come easy to me, if it were to come easy to me, I would not appreciate it. I would not sustain it, and I would not fight for it. So I am very thankful to the Creator that I have had some struggles, some challenges, and some difficulties in this role, because it is literally cultivating the next shinier layer of Kiara. And you all know what they say, pressure creates diamonds, and I do believe that I am sincerely a gem. I am a gem given from God, and so pressure creates diamonds. So this is just the work. And I'm thankful. I really am thankful. School, as I briefly mentioned, is of course ongoing. I did take a break for a little bit, for about 2.5 months, 3 months, but I got back to it. I am back taking courses. It is not easy. I have been having issues with my computer, but what I also realized about school is, if I would have went to school when I was younger, maybe I would have been finished. Maybe I would have had to go in and out. But I also realized school just adds an extra layer of responsibility that I need in my life. School just adds another layer of structure that I need in my life. It keeps me pressing and pushing towards a personal goal. And so I'm thankful for it. I'm glad for it. And I believe that it is something that will really help to give me the credentials and the technical backing to be able to pursue whatever it is that I will pursue after this portion of my life. So, y'all, I'm thankful. I can't complain. What I have learned about being down here by myself, which, if you didn't know, I actually moved to Louisiana by myself. I don't have any friends down here. I don't have any family members down here. I have a friend that actually recently moved to Houston, but Houston is about 5 to 5.5 hours away from where I am in Louisiana. So directly, I have nobody who's here. So the one friend that I did really make at work, she's actually moving this week, which makes me a little sad. So, kind of sucks. But, I also realized that, I want my friends to continue to elevate and grow as well. And her moving is going to help her to elevate and grow. So I want her to win. As far as the dating scene, y'all know COVID is a real big deal. And let me just back up a little bit. If you all didn't know, I was in a relationship for over 5 years. We went our separate ways pretty much when I moved down here. We probably stayed together for maybe a month or so after I moved, but it wasn't too long after moving down here that we went our separate ways for a lot of different reasons, which would be another video. But I will say that I did started dating one guy down here, and I'll be honest, if I'm 100% honest, and I just use 100% transparency for the next minute or so, I was not ready to date. That is the short story. I was not ready to date. And because I was not ready to date, I literally gave up a little bit too much of my time too quickly. And when I realized, family, that I was doing that, I had to pull that time back, and I had to put that person in their respective place, for lack of better words. I had to put them in their respective place, because one thing that I realized about when you come out of a long relationship and you've been in a relationship for an extensive amount of time, we all need to go through personal development, healing, and change within ourselves. And the reason why we need to do these things and heal and work through things and get to know ourselves and spend more time with self-loving and self-caring is because anytime you go into the next relationship, you want to be simply better. And what I realized is this brief relationship that I was in, I just wasn't better. I realized that, there is no part of me that wants to blame the other party, because I realized that everything that happened in that short amount of time, I allowed, I accepted, I dealt with. And because I wasn't in a space of real healing and 100% healing, I just allowed myself to get off task. So I had to regroup. I've regrouped. And I also realized too, like, first of all, this is not a big town, a big city. It's kind of small. Everybody kind of knows everybody. It's definitely a lot smaller than Richmond is. Richmond is definitely a lot bigger, a lot more people, a lot more territory. It's just a bigger place to be. And here it's just a lot smaller. So, the likelihood of me running into my ex is definitely a lot more higher down here than back home. But anyway, I would just say, as far as dating goes, I'm going to just put a pin in that for a little while. I'm going to continue to work on work, school, and building myself up emotionally, mentally, so that when it is time, the correct time, I will be good and I will be ready and I will be, of course, whole. So yeah, y'all. If you find yourself moving from one relationship to the next, you may want to check that within yourself and realize what that is. Because here's the thing: sometimes we don't know we have toxic behaviors within us. We don't know that those behaviors are necessarily toxic, but those behaviors that we are constantly doing over and over again can set us back if we are not aware of what it is that we're doing, so that we can correct the behavior. Okay, just a little tip for you. I have since moving on from that relationship have realized, because I've moved on from it for a little while now, I realized that the mental peace that I have just enjoying my own time has been so great for me. Literally, it has been great for me, and I'll tell you why. If you don't spend enough time with yourself, you don't really get to know yourself and how you're changing and how you're growing and how your thought processes are being transformed, and you're not really getting in touch with yourself. One thing that I've trained myself to do over the last few years, throughout going through my healing journey and finding real peace in my life, is to ask myself questions whenever I find myself upset, bothered, disturbed, irritated, annoyed, frustrated, to ask myself why I feel the way that I feel. The reason why I do this is because, number one, what it does is it allows me to, number one, take a moment and pause. One thing that a lot of us do, and I know I've definitely done it and still do it today, is I will find myself keeping busy, moving around, doing a lot of things so that I don't have to deal with what the issues are. But when I make myself ask myself a question and I make myself answer the question, then I can come to a conclusion and a decision faster, quicker, and honestly with more truth, because I have to answer the question that I ask myself. I would also say, when it comes to creating a space of peace, enjoying your own time is essential, because you start to find things about yourself that may necessarily not be great traits or good traits, but you also get to learn the things that you do like. Maybe things you didn't even know that you were interested in, and you didn't know that you would be fond of. You start to become fond of those things. You begin to like those things. So you open yourself up to new ideas, new interests, just new things in general. So having that mental check-in with yourself and asking yourself questions is key. Self-awareness is really the bottom line of it all. A lot of us are walking around, we're super unself-aware of what's going on, how things are changing in our lives, and what's really taking place in our lives, because we're not mentally checking in. So doing the mental check-in, family, is important. And if you realize that there are people that are around, that you are allowing around, that are disturbing that mental peace, where it's difficult for you to do that check-in, you have to create space and time in your life for the alone time, so that you can regroup, refresh, and recharge. Okay, so do that for yourself this weekend coming up. If you haven't done it in a while, get some alone time to yourself and figure out your next strategies, your next goals, your next move. Okay. Here is a small but big goal that I literally reached just this past Friday. And that was, I just paid off my car. Look, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I have never had a car that I paid off. And I am 31 years old. And I have never I have to laugh, but it's true. I have never had a car that I fully paid off. My last car was I got in an accident. So my insurance took care of the payoff, and then my gap insurance took care of the rest. So technically those are payoffs, but I didn't necessarily pay them off. Well, I guess in a matter of speaking I did, because I paid for the insurance and I paid for the gap. So I guess in a matter of speaking, but I think you know what I'm really getting at. Like, I actually didn't wreck the car. Nobody hit me. The car didn't blow up. It wasn't a piece of trash car. I actually have a car, and it's paid off. And I paid it off because I made extra payments, sometimes an extra 2 to 3 payments every month until I paid that vehicle off. And here's also the best part about it. I literally bought this car last year on the 17th of September, and y'all, I paid it off this year on the 17th of September. Now, ain't that just divine? Isn't that just divine? Baby, honey, that is divine. That is awesome. And it makes me feel really good because I've really been striving towards that goal. I remember when I purchased that car in 2020, I said to myself, I will have this car paid off within 8 months to a year of purchasing it today. I said it to myself. It was a memory. It was a thought. It was what I put out into the atmosphere. And look, y'all, it's done. I did that thing. I did it. And I'm super proud of myself. And it also frees up more money for me to be able to invest more into myself, and for me to be able to save, and for me to just have, because I'm a hard worker. So I feel good about that, y'all. And for any goals that you are accomplishing, big or small, like, give yourself a pat on the back. Like, you know what I'm saying? I treated myself to a nice little dinner this past weekend because I just wanted to congratulate myself and give myself a small reward for just doing something that I said I was going to do. So, look, y'all, congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back when you're crushing these small goals, these big goals, because look, we do the work, we reap the reward. Point blank, period. Okay? I want to finish this voiceover video by just talking about something that I'm going to be doing a lot more posting on as I continue to create content. But I just want to say this because I know you all can see all of these pictures that I'm posting. There are a lot of pictures that you're seeing on the screen that I'm posting. I want to give a big old shout out to this natural hair that has been growing out of my scalp. Like, look, y'all, all I got to say is this. This time last year, right? And I can show y'all pictures. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put one on the screen. And I'm going to let y'all see what my hair was going for this time last year. Now, this time last year, this is where my hair was, okay? And all I can say is, when you do the work, you do the research, you pray and you affirm it, and then you put it in God's hands, ta-da! This is what you get, baby. This is what you get. Like, y'all, when I tell you, this natural hair journey for me, and like I said earlier, I will make some content about, my natural hair. I'll do more videos on it because I really want to just speak more about it. But let me just get into this real quick. This natural hair journey for me, y'all, it has been so beautiful for me. It has literally awakened pieces of me I didn't even know were there. I see myself so much more beautifully, smarter, intelligent, gracious, feminine. I see so much more of these qualities in myself through my hair. I see so much of the intelligence and beauty and style and elegance in myself from my hair. When I tell you, I will need to do a separate video on just the spiritual connection that your hair creates in the energy field. But y'all, without getting too deep, your hair, your natural hair is so important. It does so many things. It has so many feelings. This experience for me has really been humbling. I've had to be patient because I've heard people tell me, like, I post on my social medias, my Facebook and my IG specifically, more pictures of my afro. And so people are able to see my hair, you know, a little bit more in real time there. And I've had people inbox me or text me and say, oh my gosh, Kiera, I remember, you know, you started growing your hair last year. Oh my gosh, it's growing so fast. It's growing so fast. And they're right, but they're also wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because to them, it's fast. Because to them, they're like, oh, a year, that's fast. Or 16 months, that's fast. But I'll tell you this, when you're in the process of it and you're actually going through it yourself, it's not that fast. It's fast in hindsight to me, but it's slow because I had to take care of my hair, learn more about it, go through the washes, do the treatments, do all the deep conditioners, you know, learn about taking the vitamins, understanding that working out helps with your hair, doing scalp massages, doing protective styles, keeping my scalp moisturized, keeping my hair greased, wearing wigs and keeping my hair in braids and protective styles and keeping it moisturized while those wigs are on, doing all of these collection of things to birth this beautiful fro. It is literally a process. It is and has been and will be a process. And I'll tell you another thing I learned. If you look at the before pictures, if you just want to click back a little bit on the time and look at the before pictures, let me tell you something about as your hair as it continues to grow out. And this is what a lot of things they don't tell us in the natural hair community, because people are really focused. So many people in the natural hair community are focused on selling you products that they really don't give you some of this type of insight. Here's one thing I've learned about my natural hair. My natural hair has literally changed patterns like 3 times over the last almost 18 months, because I'm literally going into 18 months. Next month will be 18 months. It has literally changed patterns and textures about 3 times. And if you really look at the photos, you can really see how it's changed and how it's morphed, and how it's, as it gets bigger and longer, how the hair falls and how the pattern and how the texture of the hair changes. And this is why finding your routine and creating a regimen is important. I'm telling you, my hair didn't grow this big in this, I guess, quote unquote, short amount of time because I just grow long hair and because my hair just has always grown fast. It has grown because I've learned my hair. I have, you know, had trial and error with my hair, but I've also built a routine. And I'll do a video just on a routine because I know people may want to hear that. But I'm telling you, the natural hair journey for me has just been very eye-opening. It has been very humbling. It has made me fall in love with myself. Again, it's made me just level up my self-love through my hair. So it's a very spiritual journey. It's a very inward journey. And I am just looking forward to the rest of my life continuing to grow it out and learn more about it and see its beauty and its elegance and its style and its grace and its spirit. It touches my soul every time I talk about it, y'all, because I know I was here for the work. I know I showed up for the work. I know I did that work. So it's a great feeling. I would say if you are considering growing your natural hair out, ladies and gentlemen, be patient with yourself. Do the research, honey. And please, please, please do not compare your journey to anybody else's. You can look at people. You can find inspiration and motivation through what they're doing. But please understand that your journey is very personal to you and that it is tailor-made to you. So do the work for you. Use them as guides. Use other people as inspiration. But understand that you have to tailor-make a journey for your journey and process. That ain't nothing but facts, okay? So y'all, look, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I am super, super excited that you all have stayed throughout the video this long, because if you did, then you heard me talk for the last 23 minutes. And you know, if you've watched my content, you know I can go. I can go. But look, you all, I love you all. I appreciate you all so much. Please make sure that you are doing the work throughout your life to get yourself to the next level. Like, no one's coming in to save you. No one's coming in to do a Superman for any of us. And as we continue to navigate through life, we really are able to see that through a specific lens of just experience that shows us that no one's coming in to save us. We have to become accountable for our own mental health, emotional health, and our financial health. We have to take the reins back on our lives and get in control. It doesn't mean that things aren't out here happening in the world, but we are in control of our lives, okay? So look, I love you all. I appreciate you all. My hope and my prayer is that you all stay in tune and you stay encouraged. Look, if you have stayed this long throughout the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and leave comments down below. You know, I love interacting with you all in the comments. And if you believe somebody else will be encouraged, motivated, or inspired by this content, go ahead and share it to them, okay? All right. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. I'm your girl, Kiara Washington Speaks, and I'm out. Peace.